Hi there, you're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now with me, Shreyanshi Singh and Srishti Sharma. And over the next 1 hour, you'll get all of your stock-related queries answered from both a technical as well as a fundamental perspective. But well, first things first, let's take a look at the market. And Srishti, it does look like the color that you're wearing is really what the market is in agreement with.
Well, certainly, Shreyanshi, for now the markets are in the red, but the key to mark is the recovery in the Nifty Bank because that has recovered from the day's lowest point and it is now down about close to 500 points. But at one time, we have seen declines of more than 600 points coming in for Nifty Bank Index, and a lot of these PSU counters as well as private major names that were sinking in the first half of the trading session or at the initial front were seen to be recovering from the likes of SBI as well as IndusInd Bank. So let's see that whether we are in for some more recovery or not. But indeed for today, all these Adani group of counters are under pressure. But on the flip side, some bit of a support lending is coming in from the IT pack because a couple of counters from that particular index were seeing good gains. Other than that, Power Grid, Hindalco, Hero MotoCorp are some of the counters that are seeing good gains in Nifty 50 as of now. Couple of pharma names such as Sun Pharma are also holding strong. Along with that, if we talk about the metal pack, then yes, indeed, it's the aluminium pack that is once again shining bright because on the Nifty 50 front, it's Hindalco which is leading from the front. But from the overall F&O space, Nalco is the top gainer. Other than that, Indian Hotels, after the great commentary coming in from the management that by FY30 they plan to double their top line, and even brokerage is finding it positive. Indian Hotels holding a gain of close to 3% in trade today. So all in all, Shreyanshi, not a great day coming in for the benchmark indices, but they're trying to recover a bit from the day's lowest point. And along with that, I would also like to highlight India Wix because at the start of the day, India Wix purged up around 5 to 6%, but it's now in the red territory, which means that it is in the favor of the bulls. So whether we are in for some more correction, let's see. But India Wix at this point in time and at this juncture is really in a supportive territory when it comes to charge the bulls.
Well, absolutely. It does look like some attempts to recoup are being made, especially when you take a look at IT and Realty. Those are the packs that are holding on to that little bit of resilience at this point. But tell you what, let's kickstart taking all of your stock-related queries, viewers. And before we do that, on the top of your screens, as well as on your screens, the number will be flashing where you can write to us. When you do write to us, remember to mention the buy price for the stocks that you're looking to that you're already invested in, rather, and the ones that you're looking to invest in. Do mention the time horizon that you also have in mind on your screens. You can see the number that I'm talking about. Let's also kickstart taking all of your stock-related queries. And we have Sharmila Joshi of sharmilajoshi.com joining us. Along with Sharmila Joshi, we also have Rajesh Bhosale, who's the technical analyst at Angel One, also joining us. Thank you so much for taking time out to answer all of these queries that we have for you. And the first one that we have on in terms of the queries is a query coming in from Jay from Mumbai, and he's writing to us about the 200 shares of Tata Motors that he's holding on to. Buy price is 900. Rajesh, what do you make of this particular counter? What do you suggest he does?
Overall, Tata Motors have seen a sharp sell-off in last couple of months. But having said that, if we see the chart structure of Nifty Auto Index, so this week we are seeing some revivals or reversal signs. Even if we see Tata Motors chart, so it is placed on a long-term support of 61.8 retracement, also the weekly 89 EMA. So from here onwards, we see a limited downside. So I would suggest to hold on to the longs. 760, 750 is a very strong support zone. And we expect a bounce back from current levels, possibly 830, 850 will be the levels that can be expected in a very near term.
All right, that's the take coming in on Tata Motors. Very good morning to both of you. And Sharmila, I'm coming to you for the next query. And this one is coming in on BEL, wherein Suresh from Ludhiana wants to know that can he go ahead and buy BEL at current market price for a long-term investment. But before that, Sharmila, I must tell you that the new hairstyle is looking very well and it's suiting you as well.
Thank you so much. Coming to BL, I think you should wait a little because in terms of price, it has corrected, but in terms of valuations, it still looks a little expensive. And I think there's no taking away from the fact that market seems to be slipping. So while market is slipping, maybe what approach you could use is do a staggered buy. rather than buying everything at one go, because it does look like the market is ready to move down a little bit more, and so will BEL. In any case, in terms of valuations, these stocks were already looking very expensive. So now they just look a little less expensive, but they're still in that expensive zone. So in terms of buying only on the basis of valuations, I think it might be a better idea to just wait it out a bit. It's a good stock, I like it, but in terms of valuations, it looks a little expensive.
So in terms of valuations, you must be careful about that particular counter. So that's the take coming in from Sharmila as well. I'm going to come to you with the next one, Rajesh, because we do have an investor called Vignesh who's writing to us from Bengaluru, wants to know if it's the right time to enter Motilal Oswal Financial Services as well as SBI. What do you make of these two counters?
From the capital market space, definitely we are seeing strength in that space. Motilal, if you see, I mean, it's in a time-wise correction phase. As of now, if we see the stock has support around 850. So with a stop loss of 850 can be bought, but if 850 is broken, then some weakness can be expected. I would suggest instead of that, he can focus on BAC Limited. BAC Limited is in a strong chart structure, continuously moving in a higher top, higher bottom structure, possibly expecting a targets of 5350, 5400. So instead of Motilal, I would suggest BAC Limited would be the one counter that can have a strong performance in the near term.
All right, that's the take coming in on this particular counter. Preferred bet is BSC. Other than that, the next query that I have, Sharmila, is coming in from Satyan from Kerala. He's holding 500 shares of Ircon and his buy price is 241 rupees. He's at a loss in this particular stock, but good to hold on, or should he go ahead and average this counter a bit?
So this is the difficulty. There was a time when we just discussed BL a little while earlier, and now we have Ircon, and all these stocks ran up very much ahead of their valuations on the back of news that maybe they would be getting more orders. And in any case, I think PSU, Make in India, Defense, all these were the flavor, and these were the stocks that were moving up. And now we are seeing them get into a corrective zone. Now, the point that I've been trying to make ever since they ran up as well is that while all their order books, whether it's a BL, Ircon, all that remains strong, for it to come into their balance sheet, to actually come into their bottom line, these are all long gestation orders. So I think similar to BL, that would be my opinion on Ircon as well. It's a good stock. But whether definitely I think hold what you have. But in terms of averaging, again, I think maybe you can wait it out a little bit. And even when you want to average it out in bits and pieces rather than buying whatever quantity you have in mind at one go. So it would be a sort of a neutral to positive view at this point in time.
So that's a neutral to positive view coming in on Ircon International from Sharmila. I'm going to come back to you, Rajesh, because we do have Veni writing to us from Hyderabad, wants to know about Bank of Maharashtra. Now he's holding on to 2,800 shares. Buy price is 63 rupees. What do you make of this particular counter?
See, in today's session, we are seeing sell-off in PSU counter. But having said that, this stock has shown relative performance. The stock has support somewhere around 47, 48 levels. So for now, hold on to it with that stop loss. If you see the weekly 89 EMA also, so that is acting as a support. And anytime prices dips towards it, we have seen a strong bounce back. So keep a stop loss of 47 and possibly on a bounce, expect a level somewhere around 57, 58 levels.
All right, that's the day coming in on Bank of Maharashtra. But with this, viewers, it's now time to slip into a very short break in this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock-related queries. Then we do have Rajesh as well as Sharmila to guide you better. And Rajesh, I'm coming to you for the next query because this one is a technical query coming in from a viewer. He didn't mention his name, but he wants to have an outlook on ITC. He's already holding 1,921 shares. Buy price is 458 rupees. what to do this with this one, sell, hold or add more at current market price. What he's spotting is that in the weekly chart, it has shown a breakdown. So what will be your advice, Rajesh?
See, if we consider the earlier breakout that was in July month, so there was a breakout around 450 levels, and from there the stock moved towards the 520 levels. Now it has corrected along with the broader markets and selling in FMCG space, but it is retesting its breakout levels. Also, if we see 450 coincides with 200-day moving average, so somewhere 450 is a strong support zone. Indicators are bit oversold, so if he wants to add, definitely 450 can be the level to watch out. 450 can be levels to buy. On the higher side, once the stock starts bouncing back, 485 to 490 can be the levels he can expect in a near term.
All right, so that's the take coming in. As far as ITC is concerned, I'm going to come to you with the next one, Sharmila, because we do have Sanjeev who's writing to us from Bombay, and he wants to know about microfinance companies. He wants to know what your take is in terms of those counters. Which are the counters that you're then keeping on your radar from that particular pack?
So there's no particular counter that I'm keeping in mind, but overall, I think that the view is quite positive because while the stocks may remain volatile, I think that if you try, my approach would be to try and sort of buy a basket, because what I've really studied in terms of microfinance stocks is that each of them has a sort of a niche area in which they sort of understand and which they have a better presence in, and that can work in favor of them when sort of the that part of businesses in their favor. So they could be looking at small ticket house loans or small ticket business loans. They could be area specific, things like that. So it might, to my mind, it makes better sense to have a basket. In the current environment, I don't think any of them is going to do well, because we are seeing correction on a lot of large caps and mid caps. So perhaps this is not the best time to buy them. You are getting large caps at good valuation. So the strategy, according to me, at this point should be to try and buy large caps which you have liked and which were very expensive. That said, I do like microfinance as a space, and as I said, my approach would be to sort of build a basket over that and sort of buy it incrementally.
All right, that's the take coming in on microfinance companies. Not any particular counter, but look to buy a basket of counters. But Sharmila, once again coming to you, this query is coming in from N. Ramesh from Hyderabad. He wants to have your take on Zomato as well as Tata Tech. At one point, Zomato has already given fair returns to the long-term investors, but given the competition, do you believe that it's still a buy for a long-term investment? And Sharmila, what's your take on Tata Tech? Because there was indeed a lot of excitement with this particular IPO, but when we see the price now, it's at an all-time low, Sharmila. So, what will be your bet? Can this be a turnaround story, or would you suggest a buy here?
So let's talk of Zomato first. I do like the stock. I think that their new ventures as well as their new acquisitions, I think those will play out in their favor in time to come. The thing that goes against the stock is one, we've seen a fairly, as as you mentioned, we've seen a fairly big run up in the stock from their lowest levels. And at this point in time, valuations do look expensive. So I think if you have the stock, definitely hold on to Zomato. I think that there is a lot to unfold here. Uh, how it does, at what valuations, and so on and so forth. That all that remains to be seen. But as a story, it's good, and they have now sort of, even in terms of numbers, proven themselves. So you need to give the stock some time. So I think those who have it should definitely hold it. To buy fresh, I would say no. Coming to Tata Tech, yes, as you said, stock is at its low, but you have to take that into, it's sort of, it's had such a short time period at which it has traded, that to say that it's at its 52-week low, it doesn't really have too much of an history. Having said that, the kind of verticals that this stock focuses is on, again, it's a very niche play. A lot of what they're talking about focuses on auto as a sector. That sector itself, we haven't seen it do too well over the last 3-4 months, and I think the market euphoria itself has taken a beating. But I like the stock. As a disclosure, I did buy it on Murat Day, because I thought, like, on Murat, let me buy something that I think has the potential to do well in the future. And for me, that stock was Tata Tech. So yeah, that's my view.
Alright, then that's the view coming in. Sharmila did buy Tata Tech on Murat Day, and that was the take coming in on Zomato as well. You can hold on to it, but don't buy fresh, at least as of now. So that's the take as far as Zomato and Tata Tech are concerned. But the next one that we have, Rajesh, is coming in from Ani, who's writing to us about the 500 shares of UPL that he's holding on to, and 557 is the kind of buy price that he has. Can he hold for the long term? What is your take here?
See, UPL charts, if we see somewhere around 520, 500, it is forming a base. And in the recent last couple of weeks price correction, it has shown a relative strength. So I would suggest hold on to it, expect a bounce back towards 590, 600, and a stop loss would be somewhere around 520 levels.
All right, stop loss at 520 levels is what Rajesh is suggesting when it comes to UPL. But the next query that I have, Rajesh, is coming in from Ramesh from Coimbatore. Wants to advise on IIFL. He's holding 1470 shares. Buy price is 480 rupees. What's your view for a month's period of time, as well as what is the long-term outlook as well? If you can help him with that.
So 1 month is a very short term for the stock, and considering it is placed around 200-day moving average, and in the past we have seen that prices testing 200 DMA and generally tends to bounce back. So he can keep a stop loss somewhere around 380, and on the high side, if you see 520, 530 has been acting as a resistance since last couple of months. So any bounce towards 500 levels should be taken as a exit opportunity.
Alright, then we have Ajit Ernakulam who's also writing to us, Sharmila, and he wants to know about TCS at this point. Now, he's holding on to just about 400 shares. Those are the shares that he's holding on to. Buy price is 4,500, so that's lower than the current market price. What do you make of this particular counter at this point?
So there is one sector which you could sort of be sort of more confident on, and which is less likely to do well, already started doing well. I think that would be IT. And so I think this correction that we are seeing, if you are invested in a stock like TCS, I think you can ride it out. But your buying price is much higher than what the current price is. So that does give me a little bit of concern. But overall, I think, for me, if you're a long-term investor, this is a stock that should be in your portfolio. So it would be a clear hold.
All right, it is a good stock for the long-term investment, and that's a hold advice coming in on TCS. But moving on, Rajesh SK Saran wants your view on two counters. One of them is NTPC, where he's holding 2,000 shares. Buy price is 252 rupees, and he also has REC, the stock which is hammered in today's trading session. 375 shares, buy price is 500 rupees. Both of these stocks have corrected much, and what to do then, Rajesh? What's your advice?
See, first of all, I would like to describe the REC Limited chart. So it has already given a breakdown by closing below, trading below 500 levels. So from the morning lows, it has rebounded a bit. So on closing, it would be crucial how the prices closes. If you see 480 is the next support, if 480 is broken, then we are seeing a weekly breakdown, and that there is a possibility stock can further slip toward 450. So keep a view on 480. If today it's closing below 480, then exit. The second stock is NTPC. NTPC, if you see, it has already corrected, and the indicators are a bit in oversold zone. It is approaching its long-term support somewhere around 350. So 350 can be a stop loss. And on the high side, if you see a bounce back, possibly exit around 370, because we don't see a near-term performance from this counter.
That's a take coming in as far as NTPC and REC are concerned. I'm going to come to you, Sharmila, because we do have Jay Krishnan writing to us from Kerala. Wants to know about a couple of counters. So Waaree Energies as well as Apollo Hospitals for the medium term are the counters that he's looking at. What do you make of these two counters?
So I'm quite confident on Waaree. I think you should continue to hold the stock. If you're a long-term investor, you need to sort of ride out the current market situation and stay invested in this. You need to give this like 12 to 18 months sort of, because again, in terms of the potential for the sector and where the stock is at, I think there's a long way to go. So the advice here would be to stay invested. I think similarly for Apollo Hospitals, this is again a stock that I like, and I think in terms of the verticals that they have and what they're trying to do, etc. If hospitals as a space, medical tourism as a story is something that I like, and within that, Apollo Hospitals is very nicely placed. Again, their various verticals and the revenue streams, all that looks good to me. Uh, Valuations look a little tad bit on the expensive side. So once again, your holding period that you should have in mind should be 12 to 18 months. But in terms of the potential, both the stocks look quite strong to me, so it would be a hold.
All right, that's a hold coming in on both of these names. But with this, viewers, it's once again time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to take more of your stock-related queries. So stay tuned and keep writing to us.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned in to Buy Now, Sell Now. Let's continue taking all of your stock-related queries. Rajesh, I'm going to come to you with the next one because we do have Gautam Bala writing to us from Mumbai, wants to know about Indian Hotels. Now, he has 1 lakh shares at a buy price of 65 rupees. He's wondering if he should sell half or hold currently for a target of just about 1024.
Definitely, this stock is in a strong uptrend and has outperformed the broader market. And we do have expectation that the stock can move on to 830, 840 levels. So, but considering the market condition, it would be better if we can book partial profits and can hold on for a targets of 830, 850. If in case any dip comes back towards the levels of 740, 750, he can re-enter what he has booked partial at current level. So definitely a strong counter, expected targets of 850 in a near term.
So take as far as Rajesh is concerned, but Sharmila, tell you what, I'll come to you also with this one because we do have Gautam asking for a combination view. What do you make of Indian Hotels then?
It's a stock that I like a lot. And I think once again, as we mentioned with a lot of other plays, the way the stock is poised, the acquisitions it has done, the new additions that it is making, everything, and the way they've been able to increase their rates in over the last couple of years, everything points to the fact that they are doing well and will continue to do well over the next couple of years. I think the key thing to uh, really add here, in addition to the technical view, is the fact that the investor has a fairly large quantity. So if the investor is comfortable holding for a longer period of time, because we can't rule out the fact that the entire market could be volatile in the near term, and the stock could also follow suit since this is a stock that has gone up considerably. So if he's willing to wait that out, then I think he should just stay invested. I think the 3-figure sort of target that he has in mind could be achieved, but you will have to give the stock at least 18 months for it to get there. So if you're comfortable riding out the uncertainties and staying invested, given the fact that you have such a large quantity, for me this stock is a clear hold.
All right, that's the combo view coming in on Indian Hotels. But Sharmila, I'm coming to you to have your take on Ola Electric because that is one of the recent accidents in the stock market, if I can call it that way. Because Himesh wants your Hisham. Sorry, the name is a little bit tough for me. Hisham wants your view on Ola Electric. He didn't share that whether he is already invested in this particular stock or he wants to buy a fresh. But overall, how do you sense the stock, Sharmila?
So, I think, as you said, this has been a recent accident, and while we could react to that in many ways, I think let me focus on the fact that overall, electric vehicles and especially two-wheeler electric vehicles is, I think, a space which is expanding quite rapidly. Given the fact that a lot of this will be sort of used within the city, and a lot of the delivery will shift to three-wheeler, two-wheeler electric, the three-wheeler, two-wheeler electric space. So this is a story that will play out not just in all the large cities in India, but also the smaller cities, and we are already seeing that happen. So if you were to travel, for instance, you would see that electric two-wheelers have begun to make their presence felt. Two-wheelers and three-wheelers have begun to make their presence felt in a whole slew of smaller towns and slightly bigger villages. Given that, and I think that, and then the fact that the stock has corrected for so many reasons, this could be a time to sort of stay invested in the stock, or even buy it if you are willing to take that risk, because this is a story that I like. Yes, I think if you have the stock, stay invested in Ola Electric.
And that's the take coming in from Sharmila. This is a story that she likes, at least as far as Ola Electric is concerned. But moving on, then the next one that we have, Rajesh, is coming in from an investor who's not mentioned their name, but they're looking at three counters actually: Cochin Shipyard, HAL, as well as Shriram Finance are the counters that are making it to their radar. They want to know if it's a good time to invest at this point.
I'll come to the Cochin Shipyard. In the last couple of weeks, we have seen a gradual lower volumes and prices in a time-wise correction. If we see the stock has a strong support somewhere around 1200, so it's a weekly 89 EMA, and even in the past, if we see somewhere from the 1200 levels, the stock had seen rally. Definitely, if prices dips further towards 1200, one can buy it in a staggered manner. The second counter is HL. HL has been forming a base on the 50 weeks 89 EMA. As of now, there is no signs of reversal. But in the future, if it crosses, it's a conditional buy. If it crosses 4200, then we can expect some reversal signs, and then the stock can head back towards its northward move, possibly towards 4600. So conditional buy above 4200. The stock can then head towards 4600, 4700. Can you repeat the third counter?
Yeah, absolutely. So the three counters that he has are Cochin Shipyard, HAL that you've addressed, as well as Shriram Finance.
Shriram Finance, as of now, there are no signs of reversal. Definitely, it's placed on the supports of 200 DMA. Conditional buy would be about 2900. About 2900, we can see a bullish reversal. Possibly, then there can be a bounce back towards 3200. So, a short-term reversal signs, but not a major one.
All right, so that's the take on all these three counters. But Rajesh, I'm coming back to you again because this query is coming in from Rohit and he wants a take on Reliance Industries, because fundamentally I don't see that there's anything to flag off at this price point. But technically, Rajesh, this stock is very close to its 52-week low. How do you see this stock moving ahead? And for a long-term investor, Rajesh, is this a good time to go ahead and buy this counter?
So yes, definitely one can buy Reliance at current levels, and if we see further dips towards 1200, so definitely a buy counter. If we see the indicators are deeply in oversold zone, also we are seeing that there are positive divergence that are possible in RSI. So if we see the weekly EMA, so 1200 is a very strong support. So we expect a strong move from these levels. So definitely a buy with a staggered manner.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So that's the take coming in as far as Reliance is concerned. Sharmila, I'm going to come to you with the next one because we do have an investor named Siva who's writing to us about IndusInd Bank. His buy price was 1,450 rupees. He's wondering whether he should at this point average or sell, and he wants to know if he should switch to Indian Hotels. Now that's a little bit of a no-brainer because you did mention that you do like the stock, but maybe you can just tell us if it's a yes or no from at least on the Indian Hotels front, and answer the query coming in on IndusInd Bank as well.
So overall, private banks is a space that I like. Having said that, probably the stock that I would prefer over IndusInd Bank would be HDFC Bank, or I think HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, Axis Bank. That would be the order that I would prefer stocks. Among the smaller banks, I like IDFC Bank. IndusInd Bank is also okay, and now as I can see, it is trading at a sort of almost close to 52-week lows. So I don't think that this is a price that you should sell the stock at. Having said that, you could see a further correction on the stock. Now, you can't really say Indian Hotels in lieu of IndusInd Bank, because they're completely different sort of businesses. One is banking, one is in the FMC hotel space, hospitality space. So both are spaces that I like for different reasons. Perhaps I prefer Indian Hotels at this point in time over IndusInd Bank. But that said, if you were to ask me hospitality over banks, then I would prefer banks more. So I'm a little confused as to what he should do in terms of maybe he should switch to HDFC Bank, or if he wants to completely book out of IndusInd Bank, he could do that. But he must bear in mind that hospitality is a completely different sector, and his the kind of investment horizon that you could be looking at could be, as I said, 12 to 18 months.
All right, then that's the take coming in on the banking space. But sticking with that, the next query that I have, Rajesh, is coming in from Gautam, and he wants to know that between SBI and HDFC Bank, which one is a better counter at this price point, maybe for the next 12 to 18 months? What's your view?
So definitely HDFC Bank looks a clear winner. Definitely SBI has not fallen as compared to other PSU space. But if we compare between HDFC and SBI, so definitely HDFC Bank is showing more positive signs. And I mean, it has been trading in a range, HDFC Bank, but expect the stock to move, I mean, positively. One more counter I would like to add is the Federal Bank. Federal Bank has shown remarkable performance and has given long-term breakouts. So HDFC Bank, Federal Bank are the counters which I expect will perform once the banking space start resuming the up move.
That's a take coming in as far as Federal Bank is concerned. Quickly, before we move on to the next query, Rajesh, I'm going to come to you for a quick check on Waaree Energies and Apollo Hospitals. Now, we've discussed these two counters, but in terms of fresh entry levels, what are the kind of levels that you're sort of looking at this point?
Apollo Hospital, if we see, it's placed on support somewhere around 6550, 6600. So that those are the levels that, where one can look to buy. As far as Waaree Energy is considered, I cannot, I mean, address since we have limited data.
All right, that's the take coming in on both of these names. But with this fears, it's time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more of your stock-related queries. Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock-related queries. And the next query that I have, Rajesh, is coming in on Tata Power, wherein Abhishek is already holding 100 stocks and his buy price is close to 474 rupees. And as we know, Rajesh, the stock is once again testing the levels of 400 rupees. At what price should he go ahead and buy more of this particular stock, and what is your overall view on this one?
See, overall, the chart structure of Tata Power has been range bound. Somewhere around 390, 400, it takes support. And whenever it rallies towards 460, 470, from those level, we see price correction. Even now, if we see last couple of days, it has taken a strong support around 400. Today also from lower levels, we are seeing signs of bounce back. So 390, 400 levels are buying zone. He can definitely add somewhat around those levels. And on the bounce, if we see, there are few averages. A couple of weeks back also the bounce back got sold into around 445, 450 levels. So by around 390, 400 levels, and somewhere around 440, 450 look to book profits.
And that's a take coming in as far as Tata Power is concerned. Sharmila, I'm going to come to you with the next one because we do have Badri writing to us from Bengaluru, wants to know about Aditya Birla Capital. He's holding on to 50 shares, buy price is 190. What is the outlook that you have for this counter then?
Overall, I'm positive on Aditya Birla Capital. I think in this, the kind of results they've been able to deliver, as well as sort of the targets that they had set out for themselves, they seem to be well on track to meet those. Of course, I think the stock has corrected in line with everything that is happening with the market, but I think this could be a good stock to sort of accumulate once you get a sense that market is has bottomed out, stabilized, and buying has once again resumed. Because in terms of numbers, etc., and as I said, the way they've been meeting their targets, I'm fairly confident that the stock will go back to its 240 sort of level. But again, you'll have to give that time. But overall, it's a stock that I like.
All right, still like EV Capital at this price point. Moving on, and Rajesh, the next query is coming in from Amit, holding 50 shares of Coal India. Buy price is 470 rupees. Is this worth averaging at current market price?
So as of now, the counter is under pressure, but if you see, it's oversold. if there is any further correction towards 380 levels, that can be the levels to accumulate, because in the past we have seen during the July month, 380 acted as a support, and from there was a strong rally. So any dip towards 380, that would be the ideal level to add more.
All right, and with that, that was the last query that we could pack for you on the show. With that, we're completely out of time. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us, Rajesh, as well as Sharmila. But with that, out of time on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. But, tell you what, before that, let's also take a look at the other query that we also had coming in for you. That was on Coal India that we've just addressed with Rajesh as well. But let's also get you some more news then, building on the success of its Jan Nivesh campaign to promote mutual fund awareness. Mutual Fund Sahi announces the launch of its new initiative Smart Nivesh Sahi Nivesh in partnership with Times Network. As of October 2024, the country has a total of 10.12 crore SIP accounts with 25,323 crore accumulated in SIPs during October alone. Now, this trend, of course, underscores the increasing recognition of mutual funds as being vital for financial wellness. Over the coming months, our campaign will aim to simplify as well as clarify mutual funds, offering expert insights, practical tips, myth-busting information, as well as innovative strategies to then meet diverse financial needs. Stay tuned as we embark on this enlightening journey together as well.
We all harbor dreams, a dream as big as a home to call our own. A dream as simple as planning our children's future. A dream as wishful as living a life of comfort in our twilight years. Achieving these goals is within reach by making smart investments and right choices in mutual funds. But which mutual funds are right for you? Which categories might better align with your goals? We are here to dispel myths and help build your confidence to achieve your dreams through mutual funds. Mutual Funds Sahi Hai presents Smart Nivesh Sahi Nivesh, partnered by Times Network, an investor initiative where experts guide you on making smart and sahi investment decisions. हर जरूरत के लिए म्यूचुअल फंड्स, स्मार्ट निवेश, सही निवेश.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.